So let's go to Aaron in Allentown. And Aaron, you can join us on the train wreck of a show that we are rocking and rolling with today. How are you?
I'm good, Dr. John. How are you?
I am good. So good. So good. So what's up? How are you?
I'm doing well. First off, I just want to say thank you. Your words have made an impact in my life more than you know, for the better. So first off, just want to say thank you.
You're so lovely. Thank you so much for saying that. Appreciate that. So what's up? How can I help?
So I was wondering, and have been wondering for a while, should I continue friendships if they are draining to me?
Out of the gate, I would just say no. Tell me more about what you're thinking.
So when I hang out with certain friends, I'll enjoy my time, but afterwards I'll just feel like a lot of energy just got pulled from me. And I don't know whether it's the person, me personally, just how I process things, or if it is the friendship itself that needs to end.
Are these long-term friends or just buddies? Does this happen with everybody? Tell me about how you feel. When you feel how you feel.
So it sometimes happens with everybody, and it'll usually be right after I'll stop hanging out with them that I'll be like, okay, wow, that took a lot of energy for me to just be there and hear all their information and process everything they're going through, because life is heavy, and for some reason a lot of people tell me they're heavy stuff, so I just feel like I have that to deal with in addition to my heavy stuff that I sometimes don't get to share.
So do you have relationships in your life that you leave energetically, that you leave fulfilled?
There are few and far between, but yes, there are some.
Tell me about one.
It's with my mom.
With your mom? Who's somebody that's not your parent?
To be really honest, I don't have one that's not a family member.
So when you go hang out with your friends, your community members, folks that aren't your family members, what do you hope to get out of that friendship, that relationship?
Oftentimes, I just kind of want to leave refreshed and be encouraged. And sometimes I don't get that, and maybe that's an expectation that is unrealistic to put on someone else.
So what do you get from your mom that you don't get from your friends?
I'm listened to and I'm heard out.
So here's my thinking, and I'm just going to talk out loud for a second. Is that cool?
Yep.
Okay. So with our parents, they often, not everybody experiences this, but often they'll dote on us. They will make the whole world about us, right? And that feels so good. But it can become transactional, meaning I go to them so that I get something. And I think that can ultimately drain friendships when you try to go to other people for a thing, instead of approaching friendships in a more of a service mindset. What can I bring to this group of people? And hopefully those people, that only works if they're bringing that same thought to you, right? So we all have friends or community members or people that we know that are vampires. We show up with the service-minded attitude, like we bring drinks every time we show up, or we bring food or snacks, and we make sure if we're watching the fights, we always bring the money, or whatever the thing is. And we bring funny stories, and we bring our challenges and hurts, and they bring theirs, and everybody kind of puts it on the table, and that's what friendship is, right? It's can I tell you the good stuff? Can I tell you the bad stuff? And will you still love me, right? And man, if you show up to somebody and they don't reciprocate, they just drain. Yeah, that's hard. That is so hard. I have experienced what you're talking about. One, because I'm kind of an introvert. I fall right on the line of the introversion, extroversion, if you believe any of that voodoo witchcraft, which I usually don't. But I'm more of an introvert. I like being by myself. I get lifted up by that. But I found that when I hung out with people and it was all about me, I left more drained. Why did I say that? What did I say? I can't believe I told that story. It was really, I was looking at those engagements as a performance Did my audience respond in the right way? They didn't like that. I said that. I may have exaggerated that story too much. And when I quit doing that and I just started showing up being fully myself, and if somebody kept droning or whining, and I would say, hey, dude, just get over yourself. Quit whining. And they would stop. And then I would tell my jokes, and we would have fun, and we would engage, and I would say how I could support you. When I started just being fully myself, I quit leaving interactions that way. Does that make sense?
That makes a lot of sense, yeah, and it hit home.
When you show up, does it ever feel like you're performing versus you just, the people around you, your friends, just accept you for Aaron?
I definitely do leave situations questioning why I did certain things and overthinking things.
Okay.
I think I'm realized.
Why do you do that? Why do you think you leave giving yourself a rundown of your performance?
I just feel like I always can do better. I guess I'm worried that I'm not going to be accepted for what I lay on the table too.
Tell me more about that.
I don't know. It's just life is messy, so why would someone want all of my mess? So it's hard to kind of think when sometimes I don't want even all of my mess, you know?
So listen, Aaron, 1,000% you're worth having friends, and you're worth being friends with. And the cool thing about having friends and community is when you've got more mess than you can handle, they're there to pick up the other side of that couch. And when they've got more mess than they can handle, you're there to show up with pizza and tacos, right? Mm-hmm. That's what community is. And it goes seasonally, right? And sometimes your friends are really in the thick of it and it's awful. Sometimes you all are, and you just get together and you just you're dumping all of your boxes out on the table. That's why that's what wine was invented for, right? You sit there and you just work it out. Then there's other times when you're going to bring your positivity. Here's a great example and of how I think was a signal that I've got a beautiful friendship with a guy that I've known for 20 or 30 years now. My buddy, he's the most stable guy I know. I may have even told this on the show before. He's the most stable guy I know. He called me over a break back in the fall. And he said, dude, my bank just got bought. I'm going to be unemployed. I think I'm going to lose my job. And that was the same day that I had gotten a call from my boss to check my email. And the email had told me that I had just made the bestseller list. I made number 2 on the bestseller list with my little anxiety book. And so my buddy calls in his worst moment and he said, hey, I think I'm going to get fired. And I responded with, I just made the bestseller list. And he responded with, for your little pamphlet book? And I was like, yeah. And then I said, hey, you're the most stable friend I've got. You can't be fired. That rocks my world. And so in a quick exchange, I didn't have to hide the good stuff that was going on in my life. He felt safe to tell me the crappy, awful stuff that was going on in his life. We made a few jokes. And then when it was over, he said, man, I'm really proud of you. You've been working for a long time to be good at that stuff. Awesome. And I said, hey, man, if I can help with anything, I'd love to have you all out at the house. We can just sit down and talk about this and share this in person. And they're actually coming to visit us in a couple of weeks. So good friends don't have to hide the good stuff, don't have to hide the bad stuff, and they don't have to filter themselves in front of their friends. And so backing out of that, if you show up to a house feeling like you have to perform, I want to challenge you to turn that off. You show up and be full Aaron, because the world deserves full Aaron. Now, there's parts of Aaron that may be super annoying and frustrating. Are there?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, see, me too. I'm a lot. And the beautiful part about having friends is they say, hey, Delony, how about you dial it back about 30%? You're a lot, right? And usually they're right. And we all laugh, or I say, you're an idiot, and they say, you're an idiot. And then we get something to eat, right? And then there's other times when, man, Aaron's going to bless that entire table, right? She is going to be the person that can, with her quiet gravity, can absorb some of the pain people are feeling, make sense out of some of the chaos in people's lives, and it becomes a gift. That only happens when you show up not for a transaction, not for performance, but just to be Aaron with your friends. If after a couple of times you're full Aaron and they stop inviting you out, or you can tell that you're off-putting, they don't like you, then man, yeah, that's not your gang. That's not your crew, right? You're going to want to find other people to be in community with. Or they may just roll their eyes and you stay at the table and you say a dumb joke and it lands awful. It's like a thud. Ka-thunk. And then you just say, that was stupid. That wasn't even a funny joke. And they're like, yeah, that wasn't funny. And then you all move on. And you're not thinking about it at the end of the day because that's your squad. That's your gang. So yes, go be with friends who are driving you crazy, but only if you can be fully you. And you can drive them a little bit crazy. If you show up fully you, shoulders down, you bring the foods that you think are good, you're a hospitable person, you welcome people into your life, and they just cut you out, so be it. Their loss, right? And you can also learn things from them too. If you're being a jerk, you're being rude, which you're not. But if you are, then you can learn some social skills too. So show up, be fully you. If they don't like that, if that's not their thing, then cool. There's going to be a group of people that love Aaron for Aaron, right? And at the end of the day, should you continue friendships that you find draining? No, you shouldn't. But only when you're fully you. If you're performing and it's draining, yeah, it's exhausting, right? Theater's exhausting.